Hey everyone, welcome to another video. I hope you don't mind. I am outside today because it is beautiful, but a little bit of wind might be picked up throughout this video. It shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully it isn't annoying for you. Okay, so today I am here to speak with you about fitness and health and all these goodies that you guys wanted to know about me getting back into shape, me reclaiming my body and my health, and everything that has to do with that. So in this video, I want to talk a little bit about why I decided to do this again, how I'm doing it, and a little bit about body confidence as well. I'm going to do my best to answer all of your questions, just kind of all the general questions I got, and hopefully that's good for you, and if you have more, you can always leave them down below and I will possibly do another video like this. Also, forgive me, I haven't eaten yet and I'm drinking my breakfast. Actually, my lunch. This is lunch. Drinking my lunch. Alright, so the why is kind of simple. Why I wanted to get back into shape. I just kind of lost myself. After having Grayson, I guess I just got really busy with motherhood, and I also kind of got complacent with my my personal health and my workout routine and schedule and just maintaining a healthy body. I guess I sort of got swept up in motherhood, as a lot of you can probably relate to. And the next thing I knew, it's like 2 years later and I had gained like 30 or 40 pounds. They're not kidding when they say that it creeps up on you, and I didn't really notice it happening until I looked at myself and was like, whoa, what happened? Before I get into the details of what I'm doing, I feel it's very important to say this now and just kind of add this in here. A lot of people have told me that I am beautiful the way I am, that I don't need to lose any weight, and I appreciate that so much. You guys are so kind, always, with your wonderful comments and just beautiful hearts. But I want to confirm here and just reiterate that I am doing this for my kids, for myself, so that I can be the healthiest I can be. I know that my body carries weight differently than many other bodies. I am very tall and very long torsoed and very long legged, and so many people might not realize or notice or believe me when I say that I've gained 40 to 50 pounds, but it's true. And this is not just pre-pregnancy weight from Grayson. Like, I'd lost almost all of my baby weight and then gained it while breastfeeding my second. And I should say, it is not from breastfeeding, it is from laziness, lack of motivation, not moving my body, and eating crap. I'm doing this because I know my body is not performing at its healthiest. I know my body is not as healthy as it could be and should be, and I want to get a hold of this before it goes further than just being a simple lifestyle change kind of thing. Like, this can get carried away quite quickly, and I know a lot of people have experienced that. And I'm still young, but I'm also inching closer to 30, and I think that it's really important to get it together before that, because I think it's going to be a lot harder the older I get to maintain or start new habits if they're not already in place. I also feel like I should say that it's not that I'm not confident in my body either, the way it is right now. I don't want to be like I was. I don't want my body to look like it did before. I'm not trying to get my body back to anything it was before, because I feel more confident in my body since gaining this weight than I ever have. I've always been really skinny and had no curves, and now I actually have those things and I want to keep them. Not to mention, I've grown as a person so much over the past few years, and I really feel like I've come into myself. I want my body to represent how I feel now. I hope that makes sense. And that's kind of a big reason I'm making this video in the first place, is because I'm not trying to snap back. I'm not trying to get in super great shape to the point where I have like six-pack and the Instagram butt. I don't want those things. But I do want good habits. I do want health. I do want some more definition, and I definitely want to be stronger. I want to feel strong in my body. I want to be strong. I want to be able to press up into handstands and stuff like I used to be that I can't do anymore. And most importantly, I want to be here for the long haul, being able to keep up with my kids and my family. I feel like there's a lot to say in that category, so maybe we will do another video kind of coming back to that topic and speaking more in depth, but for now I'm going to move on. I think a really big reason I gave up on the fitness regime I was maintaining before was because I think over the years I've realized that I wasn't necessarily in a healthy mental place with it. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't doing anything unhealthy, I didn't have a disorder, I wasn't being harmful to my body or anything like that. But despite working out like 6 to 7 days a week, I was, and like I said, that sounds extreme, but I was definitely eating a ton of calories to keep up with that. I definitely wasn't being harmful to my body. But I was still looking in the mirror and not being satisfied, thinking that my thighs were still too big, this was still wrong, this still wasn't good enough, oh, I need to build this part. And that was not a healthy mindset to be in. And so in that sense, I'm really grateful for the weight I did gain and the change my body did do, because it made me realize that I didn't love myself as much as I should have and as much as was healthy, and I wasn't treating my body the way it deserved. And as my children get older, especially my daughter, I definitely want to make sure I am modeling good body positive health and mental health and physical health. And I also want to add that in this big body positive movement, it's fantastic, but wanting to lose weight or get healthier or get into shape doesn't mean you don't love yourself. I don't want this to take terribly long, so I'm going to get into what I'm actually doing. Alright, for fitness, I'm keeping it really light this time. I know myself, I know I get into the habit of working out, and I develop habits quite easily, so I don't want to become a crazy cardio bunny like I used to be, because as I mentioned before, I do want to maintain the curves that I did finally develop, and so I don't want to throw all of that away by getting into things too hard. So as for what I actually do and I'm doing, I'm definitely getting back into yoga. I fell out of my practice, and that's something that's very important for me physically and mentally. So I do make sure I'm getting cardio every day, or I try to. And I'm doing it in simpler ways though. I used to do Zumba like an hour a day, which I now know was unnecessary for my body. My metabolism was working a little too hard when I did that. Now for cardio, my favorite thing right now is my exercise bike. I really love that. Our family's really active, especially in the summertime. So sometimes our activities make me not have to worry about actually seeking out cardio activity every day. Sometimes we go on bike rides or hikes and things like that, and I don't have to worry about that portion. And that is a key thing that I think is important this time, is being more relaxed with it and counting actual exercise and activities as exercise, and not getting in the mindset where it's like, I haven't worked out today, I need to work out, because that's unhealthy, in my opinion, for me. I also do still enjoy Zumba, though I've taken a step back just because I don't want to get addicted to doing too much of it. And I do also really enjoy going for walks, things like that. I might actually start running again. I'm a really bad runner. Like, my lungs don't like running yet, so that's something I want to try and build up. Okay, so apologies for the change of scenery here. I was filming outside, as you just saw. A big storm rolled in, so I had to move it inside. So anyhow, as for fitness and what I specifically do, I explained a little bit about that, and then I just rotate it every other day. So I do cardio every day, 7 days a week, but just mild, like 20 to 40 minutes of a lighter version of cardio. And then, so I'll do cardio and yoga, cardio and strength, cardio and yoga, cardio and strength. And then usually I'll do cardio and yoga on the weekends. So I'll alternate on the weekdays and give myself a little bit of a break on the weekends with just yoga and cardio. As I said, I'm also trying really hard to get back into my practice. So ideally I will be practicing yoga again every day, but I don't really count that as working out, although yoga does give you a banging bod, so that's always a benefit. But yeah, like I explained before, I'm trying to keep the workout portion of it consistent yet simple and not too intense. When I say I'm doing like strength training with my cardio, I like to personally use my own body strength and just do like resistance training and stuff. And I do a little bit of like weighted squats and stuff, but for the most part I'm not really using a whole lot of equipment to work out. It's just not for me. And it should be mentioned that this is the routine I'm using after years of figuring out what works best for me and my body and the results I kind of want to see. So everybody's different, and what works for me might not work for you, and that's totally okay. The last thing I got asked a lot about was food. What am I eating? What kind of things am I doing in the food department? Because we all know that the majority of a healthy lifestyle comes from what we put into our bodies. I've gone on a really extensive journey with food over the past, like, probably, Mackenzie's 7, so like 7.5 years. It's been really interesting. I've been, everything under the sun. I've been paleo, vegan, vegetarian, raw vegan, Whole30, Weston A. Price. Like, I've done so many of them and tried all of them, which has been really helpful because it kind of gave me an idea of what I wanted. As for what I am doing right now, I am a vegetarian. Now, I think most of you have picked up on that. Some of you, I haven't really announced it because that's weird to me, but we've been vegetarian now for 6 months, and it was a really natural progression for us. I didn't plan to do it. It just happened, and there's a lot that went into that choice, but it also just happened really naturally. So if you want to hear more about the vegetarian thing, then let me know, and maybe I'll make a small video about that on the side, because I know some people just don't want to hear about this kind of thing, so that's fine too. Now, I will say we've eaten fish a couple of times. I think we've eaten fish, I think I've eaten fish twice, and that was mostly just because we went out to eat with friends and I didn't really have very many other options, but I don't know how long that's going to stick. I don't know if I'm going to continue to once in a while eat fish or probably just not. Like, I haven't in a few months now, so I don't know if I don't know what that's going to look like, but I figured I would just be honest with you and let you know. Now, we're not vegan for a few reasons. I'm not going to go into that now. Like I said, it's not really the video for it, but we're also kind of dairy-free for the most part. We're pretty heavily dairy-free just because we have been for years. We've been, like, no milk, no nothing like that, but we're not completely dairy-free. I do eat cheese on occasion. I like my cheese sometimes. I don't fall into the vegan category because of the occasional cheese. We eat raw local honey, and also we eat eggs from our local farm just down the road. We've developed a wonderful relationship with a farmer local to us, and she's wonderful, and she's a lovely friend, and her chickens are just super well cared for and lovely, and we like to go visit. We visit them every week, and I'm comfortable eating eggs, so that's what we do. But again, not exactly the video to go into it, but I'm vegetarian, just with very little dairy. And I'm not gonna lie to you, once in a while I like ice cream, so we definitely eat some ice cream once in a while. Yeah, and chocolate. I like chocolate. So when it comes to food, my goal with food is, or like my aim is, I try to eat as close to nature as possible. Just try and eat as much whole, clean foods as I can. So that just means I'm eating a whole bunch of fruits and veggies, a lot of, grains like rice, quinoa, potatoes. That's not a grain, but sweet potatoes, stuff like that, I just try, and my goal is just to keep it as clean and good as possible. But in saying that, that's not my entire diet, and after being through so much in the food journey, I've definitely realized that being super strict and restrictive is not the lifestyle for me. So that means, although I try to keep my diet full of lots of good, nourishing foods, that's the majority of my diet, I definitely like to indulge. And I think it's totally healthy and good for you even to eat things in moderation and enjoy treats. So I've really spent the last couple of years where I kind of like fell off the wagon, rediscovering how to treat food mentally and how to not call them, guilty pleasures, or not be like, ooh, it's a cheat meal, because it's not cheating. It's not a guilty thing. Food is not a guilt thing, and I don't want any guilt or negativity associated with what I put in my body. That is something I'm super passionate about, and I'm constantly working towards. I have a daughter who's going to look up to me, or who is looking up to me, and And of course I have a son too, but we do know there's definitely a stigma there for girls, so it's something I'm very aware of, raising a daughter. And that's what I teach them, is we fill our cups and our cups, our bodies up with healthy, nourishing foods, but it's okay to put a little whipped cream on the top of it. You know what I mean? So I definitely can spend the whole day eating like super clean and super good, but then I might have some cookies and milk before bed. Milk. But I think that's just an important part of living a full, happy life. If that's not what makes you happy, that's totally fine. You don't have to. But I think for the majority of people, there's definitely a feeling of not getting to indulge, and there's so many things around us, and I think it's important. I'm kind of going off track here, but I think it's definitely an important part of a healthy diet is to have balance and to indulge once in a while. But like, indulging doesn't mean eating an entire box of cookies to yourself at the same time. Like, there's moderation. And in the same breath, it also doesn't mean if you eat more than 2, you have to feel bad. It's fine. Just try and eat more good food than you eat bad food. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just trying to take a really relaxed, chilled approach that will, 1, be better for my mental health, be better for my physical health, be able to maintain with, you know, busy mom homeschooling schedule. It's a struggle, but I also know that it definitely can be used as a crutch as well, to be like, oh, I'm too busy. And that's speaking from experience. I'm not like calling anybody out. I'm just saying that with myself, I find myself doing that, and so I'm just trying to get back into a really good routine. But that's a little more casual, less restrictive, and not as intense, because I definitely want to keep these womanly curves that I have finally developed. I don't know if I had to hit like 25 and then finish growing and maturing, and now I finally have boobs and an ass. I don't know. Maybe that had to happen. Maybe it all had to happen for it to work out the way it's going to work out. I don't know. But I'm definitely enjoying it, and I don't want them to go away. So I'm just basically trying to eat good, move my body every day, get back into my yoga practice, because that's where I really feel a lot of my strength from. I'm really enjoying doing weighted squats. That feels really good to me. That's a fun thing for me to do. And I guess the way I do it, because this is kind of, people wanted like tips, I suppose, when I'm on my exercise bike or doing like weighted anything or strength training, stuff like that, I always do it while I watch TV. That's just my thing. It distracts my brain, keeps it fun, makes me think that I'm not, like, it makes me not associate negative things with my workouts, even when I'm not feeling it, and it makes it pass, like, super fast. I'm not gonna lie, being a mom is super busy, and I'm sure there are people that are way busier than me as well. But the thing I find it easy to do is not to be too strict with when I do it. Not like, oh, I have to do it every morning, because then I find if I don't get it done that morning, if something happens, or if we wake up late, or it just gets too busy, I'm like, oh man, I beat myself up about it all day, and then it usually doesn't happen. So if I just go, okay, when I have some time during the day, I'm going to get my workout in. A lot of times for me, that's in the evenings or at nights. Like, I haven't done mine today yet. Probably will tonight after I put the kids to bed. And it's just a lot easier when you're more flexible. So anyway, I know this video is long. I didn't intend for it to be this long. But that is kind of what I'm doing fitness-wise. If you guys have any questions or anything you want me to dive further into in this kind of topic, and you guys want to see another video or maybe some more videos going forward like this, let me know what you're interested in seeing. And if I can, because that's the thing, I'm not trying to like be like, oh, look at me. I'm trying to make it really casual and approachable so that people realize that it's not, you don't have to be like half naked on Instagram to be able to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? I just want to show people that like normal people can get it back in a way that's not so intense where you have to snap back in 6 weeks and you don't have to stop eating whatever you want, you know? So I'm just trying to like share my experience in hopes of maybe helping somebody else out a little bit, or maybe just being buddies on this journey together, because that helps me out too. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already. This channel is a little bit of a love quilt, if you will. There's a lot of different patches and different things that I do here, but it's my internet home. So I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you want to hear anything else, like I said, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye! Bye!